So today I'm starting Vlogmas. Yes, we are now into Vlogmas. I can't believe we are already here in December. I've just finished in my head Vlogtober. But here we are, Vlogmas it is. It's not starting very well because I caught a pneumonia. Yeah. My son and I caught pneumonia. So I'm a little bit short of breath. I'm better than I was 2 days ago. I was very, very sick, in bed sick with a high fever. Fortunately, now I'm better. I'm just short of breath and I cough here and there. So bear with me. If there's cuts or a lot of cuts in the video, is because I'm coughing. So for the first Vlogmas, and because I'm sick, I can't walk around and do stuff. What I thought would be a good idea is to show you a snowflake that I used to do with my students to decorate the hallways of the schools, the kindergarten classes, and our classes. It's really easy. My students were uh, 11 to 12 years old, but it's very feasible for a younger kid as long as they can use scissors. So if they can use scissors with help, they can do this. What you will need is 6 pieces of paper, either white paper, colored paper, wrapping paper, whatever paper you want to use. You can mix and match the colors. It won't make a difference. You need Scotch tape. You need a pair of scissors. You need a stapler. And maybe a ruler and a pen if needed. It's optional. So the first thing you want to do is to make 6 square out of the paper. So when I was in my class, what I did is I printed out a few templates of what they needed to do with lines, and they would take, once you know how, you don't need a template, but some kids weren't as good as others in art, so that's fine. So I used templates, and what they would do is take the template, put it on the window, put their sheet on it, and just draw the lines with a pen to know where to cut. So once you have your square, you fold it in half to make a triangle. You need the folded part on top. You bring the 2 points together, so you fold it in half again with the folded part on top, like this. You'll put it on the table if you want, and you will draw 3 horizontal lines that are parallel to the bottom of your triangle. So I don't have a ruler with me, so I'll do it free-handed. You can do it with a ruler. It doesn't matter. Try to do it. Try to do your line at equal space. So I'll draw out, and the lines, you need to bring it close, about at 1/2 inch of the side of the opening here, so you don't cut it. You won't cut across, but the line, it's just to show you where to cut. So the line will go up to about 1/2 inch from the side. So my opening, just make sure that the opening is on the right side. So you'll do so for kids, it might be easier with the template just because to have the lines equally separated, and for the each, because one of these makes a petal. So if you want all the petals to be exactly the same or pretty much close to, you might want to draw the lines or make sure that the kids separate their lines evenly for all of their petals. So you take your scissors and you're gonna cut not all the way through, only about a half of an inch on the side. And make sure to repeat to your kids. My dog is near the stands and he moves the camera. Make sure to remind the kids or your kids or whatever kids, even adults, that they do not cut all the way through. And to make sure to cut on the right. That's why I made the kids make the line, or at least at the beginning, just so they remind themselves which side to cut. It's to cut on the folded part and not to go to the end. What I said is that once you're in the groove of making those, after they made one, since you're making 6 of those, after making their first one, they didn't need the lines anymore. They knew exactly. That's what it's going to give, like that. So, and then what you do is that you open it delicately, because paper. And like I said, you can use whatever paper. Some of them use school, how do you call that, cartons. Okay, so you can use whatever paper you want. So once you have this, you're gonna bring the 2 extremities together like this. You're gonna scotch tape it. You can glue it, but glue is a little bit more difficult because it takes time to stick, and if you move the snowflakes just a little bit or too roughly, it's gonna undo itself. So with time and experience and trying stuff, Scotch tape is what works the best. So you're gonna tape the two corners like that. Then you're gonna flip your pedal around, and you're gonna come and stick the 2 corners like this. That's what it's going to give. You could start from the middle as well. It doesn't really matter as long as you alternate the sides. And then you go, maybe I should have started from the middle. It really doesn't matter. It's just, it would have been easier. So you're going to stick, just to make sure to alternate each side. That. You can also have the kids or yourself draw on it. Some of my more artsy students used to draw on them, either lines, or they used, some of them wanted to put some glitter on it. Once you know the end result, you'll see that you can pretty much do. So the last one is the trickiest one. So some of the kids might need help with that one, the little one in the middle. Yeah, so that's one pedal. So you need to make 6 of them, and I'll show you how to assemble it after. And we have our 6th one. So you take all your 6 petals and make sure that you put them that's what I told the kids anyway before put it all together, is make sure that they're on the same side, they're going on the same way. Like, look at the middle, and it's on my right, so all of them has to be on the right. Why? It just looks better, otherwise it will just look off unless you alternate them, maybe. But anyway, it's like a translation. So you make sure that all your snowflakes are all on the same side, and you take it and then you just put your petals together like that. Just make sure that the corner is flush together. Make sure that the corners are all together. Smaller kids might need help for that part because it's harder for little hands. And you take the stapler and you staple them together like that. And once you have this, you're almost done. So now what you need to do is either you take the stapler and you staple all the petals of the snowflake together in their middle here. Like this. Either you take the staple and you staple it together, which works great, or you can use the Scotch tape. I prefer the staple only because the Scotch tape, when you put it in the middle, because it's kind of heavy, it might separate. So we used staplers, but some of my students really loved doing those, so they would do very tiny ones. I'm not even trying to manage to do that, but they did. They did really tiny ones, and they used, because they couldn't use the stapler because it was too big for their tiny snowflakes, they used Scotch tape and we're good. But for the big ones, I recommend the stapler. So you make sure that you center them correctly. Little ones might need help with that also. It depends on what their skills are. Some of my students had difficulty doing that part, so they asked for help, and which is fine. And even my better students sometimes ask for help because sometimes it just doesn't work. So it was a team project anyway. It was not marked, so you do that all around for the 6. Petal. Or you can use a smaller, I just thought of that. There is smaller staplers, like little ones that you can use. It might be more, it might be easier. So this is what it gives. So like I said, you can use different colors for each petals. You can use another color, it doesn't really matter. The thicker the paper, the heaviest your snowflake will be. Just keep that in mind. And then what I did is I told the student to put a Scotch tape where they would poke the hole. So I'm going to poke the hole here. So I told them to put one Scotch tape on each side. I'm not even sure I have a like that. Put a Scotch tape on each side and poke the hole through the Scotch tape. It would be stronger. What I do is I just take my scissors, bend the paper a little bit like that, and just cut like this into the Scotch tape, and it makes a little hole. And I had bought for the class those strings, those Christmas strings. So I had bought this, and you attach it to your snowflake. Regular knot. And then they could choose the color they wanted. I only have silver here. But in my class I had all the colors, Christmas colors, blue, purple, name it, I had it all. And they used the color they wanted. And we cut the string about, well, it depends because we used to put them at different heights, so it depends how. But just remember they're big, so the lower, I took my tallest student to measure how low I could put the snowflake from the ceiling. So as long as it didn't touch the head of the student, it was fine. And they put their initials, where did I think I had made them put their initial here in the middle, I'm not sure. But just to give them back to them once at Christmas, once we cleaned the class for the holidays. So yeah, so that's my big snowflake, which is super fun to do. My students, even though they were 11 and 12, they really enjoyed doing that. We used to put Christmas music or music, not like, I let them put music in the class, whatever music, but they usually liked Christmas music during that time. So yeah, so that's it. I hope you like it. I hope you enjoyed making the snowflakes, that you will stick with me during Vlogmas. And if you like the video, please leave me a comment, a like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.